that Nick sent in our internal thing that I hadn't seen. Made me smile. Anyway, welcome to the NFT Morning Show. Today is Friday, February 17th. We run this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. each and every week. 9 a.m. Eastern time to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time, I should clarify. On this show, we discuss all things NFTs, crypto, technology, finance, entertainment, gaming, and everything in between. I'm your host, P.O., here with my co-host, Nifty Nick, a very easily irritable gentleman, but the funniest man in the business. King Kicks, the CEO of Crypto Raiders, the inventor, one of the inventors of Cyber Stadium, soon to hit a blockchain near you, co-founder of the Nifty and the intelligent degenerate trader here in the NFT space. Easy Eats Bodega, the host of GMGM Market Talk, the host of Web3 Made Easy, the founder of Bodogo, soon to be the number one collection on the Solana blockchain. What a badass. We got Spencer, the founder and CEO, or whatever you call it, the guy that runs the fund over at Spencer Ventures. He's been crushing it, gaining crazy recognition in the Web3 space from the big dogs. Love to see the come up. We got Signal, the host of Artist Spotlight, a growing content vertical at the Nifty. Signal brushing elbows with the biggest artists in the space, doing kick-ass interviews that everybody's enjoying. Clemente, the head of growth at the Nifty. I mean, today is the first day or the last day of his first complete week. Feels like he's already been here for months. But it's only been 1 week. Kind of crazy. Love having Clemente on the team. And last but not least, Bunny, it just says that you're a proud Canadian citizen.
Yeah, I'm looking to dump this blur that I claimed. So I just wanted to reiterate that I'm not from America. I heard it's gonna get put on Binance today, dude. We're going all-time high.
You think so?
I hope so. I didn't sell any of it yet.
How much blur did you get?
Not a lot, like 850.
That's not a lot. How's What's Cooking with Bunny, Witters, and T-Mass performing?
Well, you know, Witters was on a plane the whole show yesterday, so she wasn't much of a help, actually.
I'm sure her
up there engagement farming.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that her the other people on that plane would have really enjoyed listening to the show. Nifty Nick, how you doing this morning, buddy? Feeling good?
I didn't sleep so hot last night. You know, I went to sleep late. I was I was doing things I shouldn't be, which in this case it was coding, and I don't want to get into the details of what was going on there, but let's just say things got dirty.
Some of that dirty code.
We had some database migration issues, which I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. You know when
Nick,
when
my mom watches this show. Please. And when you're talking about data migration, come on now.
The database migrations were out of sync. You know, you had to rebase off of the main branch, and it turned into an entire situation there, man. I don't even know if the database will ever get back together based on what just happened last night.
Okay, kids, earmuffs. If anybody's in their parents' car listening to the show, earmuffs, please.
I even had my pants on while I was doing it, P.O. I mean, that's what's so crazy. It was getting wild. You know, I was wearing pants. I was out here coding. It was midnight last night, and I woke up this morning and said, whoa, that was a crazy evening. Like, you didn't get enough sleep last night. I was blurry-eyed, but you can't stop. You don't go to bed without the commit. That's what the rule is. If you wake up in the morning, yeah, and if you didn't complete the commit, it's a situation because you're like, I don't know where it ended. I don't even know what's going on right now. I gotta like finish this thing, and so you just gotta stay. Not only you gotta stay committed to the commit. That was what was going on there, and so don't worry. And then I woke up this morning and my watch didn't show our email this morning, and I was like, did I somehow, without doing anything, break everything? I don't know. Like this is ridiculous. But you know, when you feel like you made mistakes and you didn't is actually a better thing. But usually, you just assume that you did something wrong.
I picture you waking up this morning like Bradley Cooper waking up in the Invincible movie after he had a night of doing whatever that invincible drug, limitless, the limitless drug. He like kills a guy and he wakes up the next morning and it's like the gnarliest hangover ever. That's what I picture for you this morning.
Well, when I used to take Adderall, I didn't wake up with the hangover, PO. So I don't know why he was also killing people. It was a little extreme. They took that drug and they were just like, we're gonna make him a murderer also.
Yeah, but, that movie's trash, so we don't have to talk about it. Easy, how you doing this morning?
I'm alive and well, doing well. Can't complain. You know, things are going well. Taking some time today to look over my tax documents. It's a great day.
Okay, how was GM Market Talk this morning?
Wow, this conversation has gone from committing code to doing taxes.
Real boomers.
Wow, this is.
Yeah, I'm just rebalancing my 401k. You know, there's nothing crazy. I'm looking at the bonds right now. Some traditional equity markets.
Great deals on bonds.
I'm evaluating my benefit elections.
Yeah, you know, like just really considering which dental package I want. Maybe some eye care upgrades this year. It's a good time. You know, the market's definitely not quiet.
I'm choosing my FSA allocation.
I was spending this morning thinking about how I really need to clean my apartment this weekend. I'm pretty excited about doing
Nick,
that.
I'm coming over. You gotta pretty it up for me.
Oh, I forgot about that. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be in New York. Watch out, New York ladies. He's coming to town. Going to be a great few days.
Sleeping on Nick's couch. I can't wait.
Wait, you are?
No.
Oh, okay. No. I was like, I sent you the hotels.
The stress on Nick's face at first. Where you are? No, I'll be down the street. It'll be nice, but I'm excited. It'll be a good time. But no, for real, the market's actually good. We had the highest volume on ETH NFTs yesterday in the last 9 months. And yesterday was the highest until 2 days ago was the highest until yesterday.
I believe it. We got to dive into that.
Asterisk.
Okay. Well, I want to hear that asterisk, but we're going to dive into that. Ladies and gentlemen, the question of the day. Clemente, what is the question of the day, amigo?
What is your favorite movie?
Okay.
Mine's Limitless.
Well, that's
Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, okay.
Deep movie.
Okay. Kix, what's yours?
I'm going to go old school. The Great Escape. Steve McQueen.
Wow. I love that pick.
Riding the motorcycle over the barbed wire fences. I mean, absolute classic.
I'm going to go with The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
Bro, Harrison Ford, dude, he's just going to point at you the whole movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that. He just points in every single scene in the movies.
Theo has an assessment, if you haven't noticed this, an opinion on literally everything. If it's not in agreement with him, like you're just wrong. So it's like offensive to him. Guess what? People have different opinions, Pio. And The Fugitive was one of the greatest movies ever. I can't believe that they weren't like a Best Picture of the Year award, you know?
I'm joking because it is a good movie and Harrison Ford's obviously a good actor, but you're always picking like the Tom Hanks, Harrison Ford type stuff. I'm more of a rebel when it comes to like the filmmakers that I like.
Oh, here we go. Throw out some indie film names. Hey, my favorite movie is Amores Perros, which is a very great movie. You know, that's a classic one.
Well, I was going to throw to Signal, and I'm just over here expecting Signal to throw out like a Jean-Luc Godard or like a Fellini movie or something, you know?
No. I don't know. Okay, Pretty Woman. I don't care. I still think Julia
Roberts
is the most charismatic person ever. And then the first, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites, has to be American Gangster.
Yeah, Denzel Washington.
Sorry, no, not Gangster. Sorry, Training Day. Sorry, wrong one.
Still Denzel Washington. Ethan Hawke in that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Will Smith, one of the greatest actor of all times, The Pursuit of Happiness.
With his son in the film, too. Clemente, what's your favorite movie, amigo?
Remember when he smacked a guy right in the face?
With Miles Teller.
Whiplash, yeah, directed by Damien Chazelle. Spencer, what about you?
I don't know, but I do really like American Psycho. I think that movie's fun.
Christian Bale, classic. Jared Leto, very, very good one.
Are you getting fact-checked on this?
Sorry, Jared Leto, American Psycho? That's not...
He's in it, buddy. He gets killed.
But Christian Bale's the main character here.
The second lead would be Jared Leto.
In American Psycho?
He gets killed by Christian Bale with an axe. He's Paul, whatever. Paul,
I didn't realize
what's his last name?
Allen.
Paul Allen.
I didn't realize that was Paul Allen.
As soon as I walked into Paul Allen's apartment, I noticed that he had he overlooks Central Park, meaning it's more expensive than my apartment. That's kind of you, Nick. If you walk into an apartment and it's better than
Very
your
much so,
apartment,
Nick.
it's kind of you. You're probably pretty bothered by it.
I live in Brooklyn. Like, I want to be honest, like in downtown Brooklyn, where it's like literally people just peeing and pooping on the street. Like, I guarantee, yeah, okay, I have a larger place, but I guarantee that 90% of people have a better apartment in terms of location than me.
Okay, but I do remember when I moved into my apartment and you just had to confirm that you were on a higher floor than me. I do remember that, buddy. Anyway, my favorite movie is There Will Be Blood, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Absolutely legendary movie. We got Poto Best.eth saying The Godfather. I mean, come on. Godfather Part 1, one of the best movies of all time. Better than Part 2.
JSP says Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I like the. It's been shortened now to Redemption.
People shorten it to Shawshank.
Some people shorten it to S.
My favorite movie is S. Oh, yeah. Tim Robbins. Morgan Freeman. Cryptopolis said Pulp Fiction. Great call, Cryptopolis. It's a rare time me and Cryptopolis are in agreement. It's a rare moment where we're in agreement on something. Me and
Sell your portal, Cryptopolis. No one wants you.
Nick, I wasn't gonna go that. I wasn't gonna go that far, buddy.
That was what you were saying. That was rude, dude.
No, you were just rude. Me and Cryptopolis on the same page this morning. You're trying to take it away from us. Tammy Hammer said Forrest Gump. There's a Tom Hanks movie. Okay. K. Dean said
what did you want me to say to that? It is a Tom Hanks movie, and Interstellar is Tom Hanks in Interstellar? No,
it's Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, well,
K. Dean texted me with his response. City of God and Goodfellas. K. Dean, you're supposed to respond on Twitter so that the algorithm favors the engagement, buddy. I don't know why you're texting me for.
Why? We don't even care what anyone's opinion is, K. Dean. We just want the engagement, as P.O. said. But keep responding, everybody. Primal Key says A Star Is Born, and that is a great movie with a great soundtrack, you know? So
could you sing one of the songs for us?
What's the main one?
Please sing it. What is the main song? It's like
it's the Lady Gaga one.
Yeah, she's the
all
entire
the songs
soundtrack.
Lady Gaga.
Like, is it hard to be so hardcore?
Hold on. It's maybe it's time. Is that the one? I don't know.
No.
I'm Googling here.
Maybe you can outro us with it.
A Star Is Born. Shallow. Yeah, we'll have to play that as the outro, and I'll just sing over it. We'll do a little karaoke there. Everyone's been waiting to see if Nick can hit all of Lady Gaga's notes. I'll play Lady Gaga in that song. Pio, you can play Bradley Cooper. Okay.
This is the song.
Yeah, A Star Is Born.
This is a good song, and that's Bradley Cooper performing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play her, and then we're gonna be it's gonna be like a romance song.
Well, that sounds pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the weather report, start diving deep into the NFT market in just a moment. A quick read or a quick note from our sponsor, So Rare. So Rare just had another record-breaking sale this week. A LeBron James NBA card sold for $69K. You gotta love it. No matter what platform you're on, DGens are gonna spend 69, variations of 69 and 420 for the things that they want. $69,000 for one LeBron James card. SoRare is an official partner of the NBA and the NBA Players Association this season, which is pretty damn cool. And their game has 100,000 active users. So when you talk about mass adoption, you talk about growth of the space. 100,000 active users sure sounds like something that's trending in the right direction. If you haven't listened to this show, if you don't know, So Rare is a free-to-play game. It's basically fantasy sports on the blockchain where you can enter weekly tournaments and win NBA player cards as prizes, like that $69,000 LeBron card. You can either keep the cards to build your lineup, and continue to win bigger prizes, like kind of form that flywheel, or you can just sell them for USDC or Ethereum. The game's built on layer 2 Ethereum, so you can even bridge the cards to layer 1 if you want. But basically, you're betting on your favorite players or betting, speculating on the performance of different players by buying them early, holding on to them for later seasons. It's kind of like a dynasty league in fantasy sports. Just think of it like if you bought a LeBron rookie card for cheap and now you can put him into your starting lineup, it's a pretty good deal. And every card that you own actually gets better as you play, giving you a better chance of winning. And if you don't like the cards you start with, you can go and buy a starter pack and start winning better prizes in the form of cards. So sign up at thenifty.com/sorare. That's THENIFTY.com/SORARE to sign up for fantasy sports on the blockchain with Sorare. If you like football, they just signed a 4-year deal with the biggest football league in the world, the English Premier League. 4-year deal. Pretty crazy. Anyway, on to the weather report. Signal, I believe it's your day, correct? Oh, it's Kix's day.
Kix.
I'm tripping.
But tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world?
Or do you need more?
Or do you need so rare?
All right. Hey, Theo, shout out to your question of the day, changing up the weather report music a little bit. Today's February 2023, Friday the 17th. Total market volume coming in $101 million. Majority of that coming in from Blur, 77 million. Tiny Tim OpenSea, 15 million. Floors down 5 to 10%. Despite volume being up, you do the math on that. Looking over at the leaders, we got Apes, 77.9. Mutant, 16.2. Punk, 62.4. Azuki, just above 15. Moonbirds, flapping around, 7.7. Doodles, 5.9. Pudgies, 5.8. Clonex, 5.4. So pullbacks across the board after that huge surge post-Blur airdrop. Over the past 24 hours, Blur continues to outperform OpenSea. The platform traded 5 times volume compared to OpenSea, and bidding pool reached a new all-time high of $84 million. Total value locked. Yesterday, Blur was the #2 highest user of gas on Ethereum. That's wild. After Uniswap. The team introduced new features, and all bidding and listing points are now doubled until April 1st. I think previously it was March 17th. So they added 2 more weeks onto that. Oniforce, a project from 2021, continues to rise off the back of buyout rumors. One of the most bullish things in the NFT space is a buyout rumor. After a new website was released and the team hinted at rebirth, collection broke the 2 ETH floor. Former macro trader Wizard of Soho is calling Oni the next Azuki.
Oh, God.
Floor pulled back to 1.9 ETH this morning.
People call him a scammer. I feel like this just was confirmation of that. Please continue.
Great trade, though, for people that got in at 1 ETH or lower. There's a lot of people talking about the rumors. Now we're up at 2.5x. I think those rumors are confirmed. Last but not least, since life in West America, Liwa dropped, Genesis Braindrops collections continue to see all-time highs. Both Claire Silver's collection and Liwa saw the highest sales, 17 ETH, 16 ETH. In less than 2 weeks, Liwa has become a 100x mint and a Grail collection. The floor on that is 12 ETH. For those of you that don't know, Braindrops is kind of like an art blocks, but by a different team. Buddy gave me alpha that on a long time ago. I faded it, and he's laughing in the DMs. Looking at crypto real quick. Bitcoin, 23.7. ETH, 1662. Solana, 22.9. Blur, 91 cents. Bitcoin touched 25K, and ETH hit above 1,700, close to 1,750 overnight. They've pulled back a little bit, but it's lots of upwards action all over. Crypto, NFTs, everywhere. Back to you in the studio.
Absolutely fantastic weather report. As usual, Kick, some updates from the Nifty Daily Digest, which is the daily newsletter that you have to subscribe to. Sign up at thenifty.com. You must subscribe. THENIFTY.com. Goes out 7 days a week. GQ Magazine plans to launch its first NFT collection in partnership with the marketplace Nifty Gateway, granting holders access to a magazine subscription, merchandise, and live events. Nick, why didn't GQ hit us up for the modeling shoot for this thing, huh?
I have no idea. I do feel slighted here, and we're gonna have to have a conversation with their team.
Yeah, ridiculous. Ordinal's wallet, the latest Bitcoin wallet, went live yesterday, offering users a more user-friendly and secure way to store and manage their Bitcoin assets. PUMA provided information about its upcoming Super PUMA collection. It'll be a 10K supply with a mint price of 0.15 Ethereum, and guest artists like Timpers of Chimpers. I bet Spencer will have some comments on that. Collabland, the token gating tool, announced it will airdrop Collab token to eligible users and communities on February 23rd. Another token airdrop, bringing it on, I see, huh? Other than that, Sappy Seals have announced a Bitcoin mint. They are giving people the chance to get a digital artifact for free. The total supply will be 101 NFTs. I've got to fact check whether that's the right number. And a Bitcoin wallet is not required. More details to be released today. Other than that, Moonbird's DAO is ready to launch. The Lunar Society, the DAO for the Moonbirds community, is due to launch this month. The DAO proposals will start on February 28th, and the first voting will take place on March 13th. Haven't heard a good DAO announcement in a long time. Also unclear whether those DAO things matter. Anyway, those are your updates. I see Nick has his dog tags out. He's ready to weigh in here.
That's not plural, it's singular, Pia.
Okay. Well, anyway, Nick, please lead us through this discussion.
Well, I was just furiously trying to check out what this Ordinals wallet is. And it looks like it's all web-based, so it's not like a mobile app or something like that. But I'm personally excited about that because it's clear, everybody's talking about Ordinals still. It's not like we've seen any reduction in the conversation about Ordinals at all. Just kidding. No one's talking about it. But here we are, and I just want to check out the wallet. It looks nice. We'll have to give it a go. The other subjects of the day that let's first talk about the I kind of want to talk about some of the price action here real quick.
Do it.
Which I know is not the main
Do
thing. So I got sort of, I wouldn't say stopped out, but ETH had a pullback off of its bull. It can't close above this level. It keeps getting stuck at 1667. You can only test that so many times though, but it basically got rejected, and we're still overnight could not really pierce through that on any sustainable level. It just keeps sticking at this level. I don't know. Is anybody betting on this run up to 1800 eventually, or are we saying it's not happening this go around this year? We should just stop hoping for it.
I'll tell you what, I don't have a read at this price level. So I still hold my I'm holding my long-term ETH bags and crypto bags, and also sold some NFTs. Shout out Spencer during Euphoria 48 hours ago, said, "Hey, you taking any profits out there? Or you just riding that wave?" And so that got me off my butt. I took some profits, took a couple 5-6 ETH off the table. So I got that a little bit more in my bags. But dude, the readings are all over the place. So I'm not gig along in here. I think it's equally possible that we can go up to 1800 or back down to 1500. It's the weirdest Bollinger Band squeeze I've seen in a year and a half on Ethereum. Equity markets are bleeding out a little bit past couple of days, so maybe that's what's keeping it suppressed. Definitely feels like it wanted to keep going higher, but yeah, man, I feel like we're just in no man's land. I got signals all over the place, so I'm just sitting on my hands.
Well, I want to hear from Easy. I also want to hear from Spencer. I want to know if that window, because that window was clearly open, because whenever I see random ass NFTs that I didn't expect to sell, like when I get that email from OpenSea, like your item sold, I know that those are moments where the market actually has legit liquidity. So I want to talk about that. Sorry to interrupt you, Nick, and we got Easy too.
Yeah, the one last thing I was going to say, what's not seeing any resistance? Matic. Matic is having quite the run, up 6.5% today at 1.46. We're now up to here. It's just been crushing all.
I definitely didn't sell 30,000 of them at $1 or anything like that.
It's all good. You win some, you lose some. I lost $400 on my recent ETH trade, and at this point, I'm just like, dude, I don't have time for this gambling. If I'm gonna gamble, we're gonna get into sports betting or something like that. We need to go real.
I'm not opposed.
We need to just get more
Dave
degen
Portnoy
with this.
style.
Dude, I'm gonna be betting $500 on heads. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds fun.
Tails never fails, Nick. Come on now. Everyone knows the rules.
Easy. Remember that we did that 9 times in a row,
dude.
Tails only failed. Literally only failed.
Everyone remembers that kicks. The audience was so massive for that show when it was just pure degenerate gambling on our YouTube station. Thanks for providing the inspiration for people. And the one other thing I was going to say is now I saw Spencer's tweet as well. I felt the same way. And I was like, I got to exit some of my positions, and I didn't exit any of them. So he was spot on. I was feeling the same way, but I just didn't go. And I'm like,
it was pretty obvious. I mean,
I'll sit and wait for the next pump.
The thing here that I think is like, what you got to realize is going on is if you look, there's a lot of people really aggressively airdrop farming Blur right now who have never aggressively airdrop farmed Blur before. And as someone who is aggressively airdrop farming Blur, what I can tell you is it's really easy to lose a lot of money aggressively airdrop farming Blur, because when you have these liquidity moments, this is when whales move and enter and exit large positions. So like you have to expect that someone's going to dump 100 to 200 units of a project into offers when there are 100 units of offers at the top band, which there is right now, right? And so if you look, a lot of the top airdrop farmers have just kind of lost money. And so they're already getting smarter. Like they're already seeing which collections had big sell-offs. Because what happens is you'll see 100 unit dump, right? And then you'll have like 3 of the bid whales that end up with like 40 to 60 units each, right? And then 3 hours later, they're going to dump it to the next set of bid whales. And this will kind of bounce around, and this just pushes price down. So one thing that like you should take a look at right now is it's actually interesting, right? So some of the projects have recovered back up and some haven't. Like Other Deeds is back up to where it was yesterday. Moonbirds in the number 2 spot is down in ETH. Why was that? Because that actually had like more sell pressure into it than Other Deeds did, right? People are still actively buying Other Deeds. And the reason that they're like Other Deeds are such a big mover in this is because if you look, people love to use Other Deeds to farm airdrops, right? Like that they were originally at 2.2 before LooksRare changed its airdrop strategy to no longer benefit from listing Other Deeds. That was their initial drop down to like 1.2 was the big sell off from that. So it's kind of those people who are just airdrop farming, rebuying Other Deeds. But like, whereas Moonbirds, I think there were people who are exiting big positions on. Like it's just, and Clonex, it was interesting. You saw like this giant run up from like 4 back to like 7, and it's pulled back to like 5.3. Like this kind of makes sense because in that run up, a lot of people who were feeling bad about their bags took that as a moment to exit, right? But then you see some other collections, like it's interesting for me to see which ones have actually had true net buyers. But like I would really, really caution anyone who, if you're just like starting to get into Blur airdrop season and like you're trying to farm that airdrop, just be really, really careful and bias towards safer plays versus higher token plays, because the incentivization mechanic here is they're incentivizing you to have bids that might get filled. And don't expect that when you get filled, it means you can dump, because usually you're getting filled when everybody else is getting filled at the same price level. And when those bids go away, you can't guarantee that in 3 hours we can accept the bids. There's still going to be those bids there.
Like a bid for you to dump down on top of. Yeah. And Spencer, I know you're very sophisticated on this. And I talked to some people yesterday that crushed it in season 1 and their whole strategies. I'm just playing a little safer in like listing just because I'm not as sophisticated on the bidding side. But on the listing side, worst case scenario, I sell an NFT. You know what I mean? I'm not like owning like 3 NFTs that I don't want. So I was doing a little bit of that yesterday. Also, fun fact, exactly what Spencer was talking about on Cool Cats, a whale came in and swept a ton of them from 2.2 up to 3. Then a bunch of bid farmers came in, or sorry, from 2.2 up to like 2.9. A bunch of bid farmers came in and listed like 100 bids, and then the person dumped on all of them and made like 20, 30 ETH. So it's definitely a pros market out there. And when I said earlier asterisks on the volume, the only thing that I meant is that you got to be careful, like comparing like the recent volume to like volume pre-Blur, because now that Blur incentivizes trading, the volume numbers are going to be a lot higher. Meaning that like if this was 100 million of volume of just organic buying, like every single collection in the top 10 would have 2x'd. if not 3x, right? But like this volume is coming in on like a sophisticated.
But you
like,
did
market
have
making
like a
of it.
30 to 50% floor price increase 2 days ago, which like that there's an argument to be made that that was organic buying due largely to the Blur airdrop. But at the same time, part of that also stems from the bid walls and the incentivized airdrop season 2. So like quickly that like dissipated. Like even yesterday, a lot of those projects retraced to an extent, but volume's still high. So like liquidity is present, but I think a lot of that liquidity, to both of those points Spencer and Kicks are making, are from like these Blur airdrop farms that are going on. And like right when they announced season 2, I was like, oh, maybe I should like try to farm this like way harder. But like I took some time to go through like Twitter threads of a lot of people who have been farming this aggressively, and a lot of them are staying away for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks until it stabilizes, because a lot of people are using their Blur capital to try to do this again. And we're seeing fat fingers left and right.
Doubling down on red, man. They're taking that
Yeah,
airdrop, doubling down.
So this is clearly a pros market because I have no idea what the hell y'all are talking about. When it comes to other interesting issues in the market,
Signal has her hand raised on this.
My apologies.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say it's, and that's that point about fat fingering, what you just said, Kixarizi. It's I don't know what it is about the Blur UI, but I find fat fingering there is much easier to do than on OpenSea for whatever reason. You have to be really, really careful and 100% focusing on what you're doing, because otherwise it's very easy to make a mistake there. But just going on this point, like, in between the 14th of February and just like a couple of days before the whales stopped farming, you saw all the collections pull back aggressively, like really aggressively, to the point where I was looking at them and just sort of summarizing, like, is this actually the real state of the NFT market right now? Like, how bad are some of these flaws? And if you go back on that data, I'm going to go back on that data and actually look at it and just sort of compare it to now, because it was pretty, like, sort of cold there for a moment.
But it reminds me
I would be just to finish this, I would be looking at collections where actually no farming is going on at the moment, and see like what is happening to those collections. Are we seeing organic buys? Like look at the one, like look at the 1155 stuff that can't be listed on Blur. Like what is happening there? Because there's a lot of stuff that has pulled back, especially on the art blocks curated, because it's not listed on Blur. And I think that's more a reflection of like organic price action and what the market is actually looking for. So there's just a lot of noise out on Blur at the moment. And I think once that goes away, you're going to start to see collections that people have actually been wanting to buy into.
So the synopsis is this pump is temporary. Get out while you can. You may not even have any time left. We're going to zero. In terms of, well, or not zero, but it is get out while you can. Spencer, what do you want to add about Blur farming here?
It'd be good.
I think this is just important, that this is really different from what happened with LooksRare. Like when LooksRare launched, it was literally wash trading. Like you were just, the optimal strategy was to sell an NFT to yourself to just farm the token. So like this is actually, but like because it's bid farming, like the trades that are happening on Blur right now are actually like one NFT going from one person to a different person. So like the realness of these trades is very significant. And the crazy thing about this is we can say, okay, well, is it really price action? Do people really want these NFTs? The truth of the matter is the number of NFTs that have completely exchanged hands. Like there's collections where like we're looking at like 5 to 10% of the collection is owned by a different person than it was owned by a week before. And that like has a huge impact on the NFT market that I don't know what that impact really is yet or how we see it. But the holder base of a lot of these collections has just completely changed.
Yeah. And I personally, just as like a person like selling NFTs on Blur, like I liked it. Like I went and I listed some NFTs. I've never seen so much liquidity. Like I listed some things above the floor, and it's just like, why'd my ETH balance just go up? It's just because like people just instantly gobbled it up. So I think like liquidity is always net good, right? For an ecosystem, probably liquidity is always net good. But yeah, just you gotta keep in mind like the overarching. It's very PvP, sophisticated traders out there farming it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, when you talk about farming, then you're also kind of talking about basketball. And if you're kind of talking about basketball, you're talking about So Rare. You've seen those videos of guys on farms playing basketball with like the old school bucket. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare. If you like Blur, if you like farming, it's all the same shit. SoRare is fantasy sports on the blockchain. And if you enter some of the limited contender competitions, then you're going to win bigger prizes like limited LeBron, Curry, Jason Tatum cards, like the ones that we've been giving away every month. And if you see the tweet pinned to the top, if you reply with your lineup to that tweet, then you'll be entered for a chance to win the Curry card. Last month was LeBron. This month is Curry. Seems like maybe it's Jason Tatum. Oh, no, we already gave away a Tatum. So maybe it'll be Kyrie. Who knows? He's been tearing it up in Dallas. It's been pretty impressive, actually. But yeah, I mean, look, SoRare has been around since 2018. They're not new kids on the block. They're established. They know what they're doing. And they signed the English Premier League. So now they got the NBA, the MLB, and the English Premier League. I mean, there's not that many major sports leagues left to sign. So they're just crushing it. Sign up. It's on Ethereum Layer 2, thenifty.com, thenifty.com/SoRare. If you enjoy fantasy sports and NFTs, it's the platform for you. Check it out. Go ahead, Nick.
I just wanted to remind everyone, today we are not giving away 1,000 Alala spots to Cyber Stadium, and I'll be posting that just to inform people that, just as a reminder, that we are not doing that today. And what you'll have to do is retweet, like, and follow as part of not giving an allow list away today. So in terms of, we'll see how well that tweet does. In terms of other stories, the conclusion real quick, just to wrap up the other conversation, was there's more liquidity in the market. The other side of that is we're not quite sure how long that's going to last. Someone said I rugged the space.
No, I was just saying that your account's not on stage.
Oh yeah, dude. Why does that keep happening? Anyways,
I'd say we got another 7 to 10 days. You look at the trend. You look at the trend from LooksRare, X2, Y2, and even Bonk, and NFTs tend to fly for 7 days following the airdrop. That's like the kind of market. I've seen a ton of like people who wrote threads with a bunch of big brain math behind it. So I think going into like next Wednesday is when like this liquidity will start to stall again until there's another catalyst, which could line up perfectly with the Lick the Toad event for the sewer passes.
My Pudgy Penguin, well, that's good. That'll bring some extra action in the market. My Pudgy Penguin floor went from 6.2 back down to 5.8 or something like that, and or 5.6, and I'm pissed that I didn't get out of it. So
you farming that with a Blur listing?
Dude, I'm not doing anything. I'm not making moves. Instead, I'm just losing money on garbage swing trades and ETH. Like I'm like literally, I'm just getting punished left and right. And I'm like, dude, yesterday I saw an opportunity. I saw on SoRare. No, not SoRare.
Super Rare.
What's the other NFT marketplace? No,
Looks
not
Rare.
Looks Rare. There you go. It's got rare in the name. POC. I went on Looks Rare, saw a Pudgy Penguin for like 0.5 ETH below the floor, and I'm like, I am a genius. I move ETH out of Gemini, and I'm like, I'm gonna go buy this, and then I'm like, wait, if I dump this to ETH offer or WETH offers, I'm actually gonna lose money on, or like I'm gonna break even.
You also have to see if you can sell it on OpenSea or not, because some of those you can sell on Looks Rare, but not OpenSea, and the ones that are banned from OpenSea can't take the Blur bids. So there's like a couple factors you got to kind of weigh there when like the floor is awkwardly lower, because like there's a lot of stipulation in that. And there was actually a bug yesterday where the Blur situation, they had a bug in their code where you could buy an NFT and sell into bids for about 30 minutes without the 3-hour gap. So you saw a ton of people just slamming Blur bids yesterday.
So, okay. I was trying to transition off of Blur, and I literally cannot stop people from discussing Blur.
Relax.
No one else cares other than 10 people. There's no one that cares in this market other than 10 people that are farming Blur. Congrats, you made some money farming Blur. Congratulations. Oh, you're a super trader.
What are your thoughts on Genuine Undead?
We're not bringing that back.
We're not bringing that up. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we have another Web2 brand.
Okay. Just take it.
No, go, Nick.
No,
go.
just take the show.
Go, please.
I'm done. I can't handle it today. I mean, it's just like all I want to do is discuss something that's completely irrelevant. PUMA, company that's known for rugging this space, provided information about its upcoming Super PUMA collection. You went from normal partnerships to Complete Rugs. Pretty excited about this one. It's a 10K supply with a mint price of 0.15 ETH, and will feature. Oh wow, they do have Timpers though. That's pretty cool. Who's involved with this project? I did take a look at the art, and I will say it actually is kind of cool. It's a cool looking project. What I don't understand associated with PUMA is why. Like, what are we getting other than this? They have big plans to intertwine Super PUMA throughout many PUMA brands through plush toys. Oh my God, Spencer, they have plush toys and products intended to build the Super PUMA IP. Additionally, we have other planned Web3 collaborations, both inside PUMA and out. This may take many exciting forms. What was that project before that had a partnership? The Caplocks had a partnership with PUMA. That was their last sort of foray into this space. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, Caplocks is at 0.02 ETH right now, less than that,
Dude,
0.0189.
like, remember the hype around that project? And
we went over like, 1 ETH.
Yeah, we were like, PUMA is entering this space. This is the future. By the way, I'm looking at my plant in the background here. It's gotten to a depressing state.
Nick, yeah. There's only a couple leaves left. What I would like to say, at least PUMA's sticking around. At least they're continuing to do stuff. Isn't there a ton of companies out there that just like kind of did one thing and disappeared?
Is this sticking around?
They're sticking around, meaning they're showing up and being like, all right, give us another $1 million. I mean, like, I don't like that. I'll stick around like that. That's a pretty good way to stick around, you know? Like, I don't know.
Hey, NFT space, you haven't heard about from us for a year. It's been a year since we dropped a project that we said we were going to offer a lot of different things, and this was going to be transformative to the NFT ecosystem. We feel like we've gone a long enough period for most people to forget about our past partnerships and installations and campaigns within the space, and we're now excited to launch yet another project. We're going to make, in the team of 3 of us over at PUMA, are excited for us to generate and justify our career and our job and our salaries right now at PUMA, making a couple $100,000 a year by launching, you guessed it, another NFT project with not a promise of access to PUMA IP rights, but access to Super PUMA IP rights with a character that looks nothing like PUMA. So I don't understand what am I getting out of this thing? And I know that a lot of the genuine undead people that are listening, if you're out there that you're listening, well, I'm giving them a harder time than I am genuine undead. You got to give me that, okay? So,
well, look, I mean,
genuine undead is way more legit than this project. That's what I'll say.
That's for sure. I don't know how much more we should talk about PUMA, because I do just genuinely view it as another Web2 brand, like grifty extraction.
It's literally it feels like a scam when they're just entering in. It feels dirty. I feel guilty that we even mentioned them on the show because it feels like they just got a sponsorship.
They got a free promo for like shitty grift.
Here's a promo. Don't buy this stupid project. But shout out. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Timpers. Timpers is a great artist, and I hope that they manage to pull on other artists. Look, if I'm an individual artist and I have the opportunity to partner with a Fortune 500
get
company,
your money. Get your money.
Get your cash. There's no shade thrown to the artists that are partnering, but I am skeptical of what's being dropped. But did they hire you, Spencer? Like, is that what's going on here? Is that why I saw the plushies thing going down?
Spencer came through as an advisor.
Spencer is like, I know what the future is. We've been having meetings with Spencer over the past few weeks about the future of our own company, and literally every meeting is just one thing. He says, you got to get plushies. That's the entire meeting that we have, and I'm getting frustrated of it, Spencer. How much do we have to pay you for you to keep giving us plushie advice?
So what Nick and Pio are mentioning is that I own a obscene number of plushies in my house. I am not advising PUMA. I think it's interesting to see how
no shit.
I'm interested in their plushies. I'm a consumer of fine plushies. There's been some good ones. I think the Chugs plushie is probably the nicest plushie, followed by the Beans plushies are pretty nice too that we've seen in the NFT space so far. That is my
ranking of NFT plushies
analysis. A list of 2 ordered.
Okay.
Clemente, we need a new segment where Spencer power ranks NFT plushies.
Well, we're gonna have all sorts of new segments. I did want to throw to Clemente. Clemente, let's talk about this poll, and then we can switch things up.
Yeah, real quick, because I don't, I don't necessarily think we should be hating on Puma. Like, I want to throw it, come in with a counterpoint. The reality is, like,
A counterpoint.
The reality of it is, they've posted and they've been trying to build this super Puma idea. Their existing Web 2 customer base, which have 12 million followers on Instagram and 2 million followers on Twitter, and they've taken time to try to build this up. And not go Porsche route where this just ETH Porsche. They make a whole new Twitter, whole new Instagram and talk about it that way. But they're making an attempt at trying to onboard some of their existing customers in an effective way. So I will give them that. And the poll is, hey, are you minting this thing for 0.15? If I had an allow list, I would. And I'll put that out there. Because they have the resources, because it seems like they're somewhat committed to doing this over time, and it will be more valuable.
This is a
I'm
balance.
sorry. Okay, sorry, but like $250 for new people to come into this space, and this is coming from a top Fortune 500 company. Why should their customers be paying $250 for what?
Why isn't it free?
Yeah, I was going to say, why isn't it free?
One, isn't it free? Two, what are you getting? Because metaverse experiences and Discord communities, like there's nothing attractive here. And then, growing the IP, like Puma already have amazing IP, but they never seem to actually talk to the Web3 team, and those two teams talk to each other and actually work together. And I think at the end of the day, the problem is that all these corporate companies, Web3 is just not their priority. It really isn't. And this is why I just think that most verticals will be disrupted. Like 5 to 10 years from now, most verticals will be disrupted from native companies and not companies that have come in and are just juggernauts and cannot move their department, their legal, their resources, their talent to be in a space which is just highly risky and potentially jeopardizes the company. So this is why I think so many people just get so riled up, because $0.15, $300 for what?
Yeah,
and it should take a page out of Starbucks book personally. Like that
I just got a tip via, we're just going to go breaking news with this one. Breaking news, got a text from an artist telling me they're basically paying the artist pennies for this drop. I'm not going to share my source. Don't worry. He said you should do some research. I'm skipping the research and going straight to the news. They're just paying pennies to these artists. It's exploitative. And more importantly with this, dude, these are marketing campaigns for these companies. Okay,
that make millions of dollars,
and that's the thing that's like Puma is like $1 billion brand, I would assume. Yeah. If not, it's $500 million. Yeah. So like in this sort of realm of potential, it just seems so ridiculous that they're
it's a $10 billion brand.
Okay, so the fact that they're worth that much and they can't freaking like just do a free campaign to like get people excited within their audience, it's just ludicrous, and it feels like there's a lot of opportunistic people here. But I do appreciate Clemente's balanced approach in the realm of exploitative brands in this ecosystem. Puma has at least been slightly less than an awful brand. So and I appreciate that is a balanced approach. And I also sort of agree. If I got on the allow list, I'd probably end up just grabbing this thing also.
Let's go to easy then.
And then kicks. You can't speak over each other. Easy.
Easy, please.
Yeah, I was saying, I think that these brands should honestly take a page out of like what Starbucks has done. Like if you haven't been following the Odyssey program, that's been one of the best major corporations to enter Web3, and it's so like untapped. They have these holiday stamps that people are able to sell for $2,000. That cost people $9 to get. And the only reason it costs $9 is because one of the challenges to get it was buy a bag of coffee. Dude, so that is,
oh my gosh,
that's it. It was part of the challenge.
I spent
so you do
$4 grand at Starbucks a year, and I didn't get into this. I just wasn't on my radar.
I'm still waiting for the access to it because it's like the lowest stamp that was free is like $450. There's volume on them, multiple sales a day. And it's absolutely crazy because like to them, the cost of
the utility,
nothing yet. It's just collectibles. But kicks, people collect holiday cups from Starbucks every year and pay
100%.
Hundreds of dollars for the cup.
Starbucks Maxi over here.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And I think this is such a low cost for a corporate to do. Free for users. You build out a mobile app. That's the one-time cost. They did like $65,000 in coffee sales off of just the app with the Odyssey program. which in itself can probably pay back a good chunk of that app development. And you launch a free POAP style badge with no utility, and then you get a % of the royalty every time they resell it on your marketplace. Like,
I'll tell you what, Pio was disgusted when he found out about my Starbucks habit. Absolutely disgusted as a coffee, as just a coffee kind of savant, you know.
Well, I'm a Blank Street coffee maxi. Clearly, I go there every day despite mistreatment from the baristas. We actually were shooting a video, Pio and I, in front of Blank Street, and I was going to make a little like snippet. This was we paused on the videos temporarily. We are bringing that back, but we paused to execute on the business. And
God forbid
we like build something here. So one day we go over there to like shoot a video, and it's like Sunday afternoon or something.
No, it was like evening, whatever day it was. It was closed. The place was closed.
And I walk up, but you can just open the door. And so I just walk in, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, they don't even lock the door. No one's in there. So what happened was, then we robbed the joint, we ended up, I'm just kidding.
Breaking and entering, pump that balance sheet. We got cash now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to throw to Bunny in a second. Look, just to have my opinion on the PUMA thing, it should be free and there should be no secondary royalty. And Signal brought up like the idea of the Web3 divisions at these big companies. Do you want to know what the Web3 division is at a big company? Go to like your meme thing, like your GIF thing, and type in dumpster fire and find the one of the dumpster like floating in the flood. What do you mean, okay?
I feel like that's a little disrespectful to the people who are trying to bring Web3 to large corporations. It just feels like, they're just out there working hard, making a measly $200,000 a year to participate in the Web3 division within these organizations, trying to spread the good word of NFTs, Pia.
Those teams are people that already worked at PUMA, that when PUMA said, who wants to be on the Web3 team? They said, I do. I bought one NFT one time, and they went on. Maybe they get one person from the NFT space as a consultant. They have calls with that person. They don't understand anything the person says, and they don't do anything that the person says. That's the reality of what these things are. And then they come out and they're like, we're about to make $2 million. It's just like ridiculous. It's like completely outrageous. And so I wouldn't buy it. Bunny, what's going on, amigo?
So the Super Puma thing, it's free. There's 4,000 free for if you own the Puma Nitro Pass already, and then there's 2,000 reserved because they do have a 10 KTF partnership. So they're only raising 600.
I agree with this baby here.
The baby said it all, Bunny. Let me guess, you're gonna have access to one of these free ones, Bunny. That's what I just heard in your voice.
Dude, I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole.
All right. Well, that's what I like to hear.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say what actually is free is So Rare, ladies and gentlemen, our sponsor. Sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare, THENIFTY.com/SORARE. It's actually free to play. I'm not exaggerating. Like, you sign up, you get a bunch of free NFTs, you play with those NFTs, you win more NFTs, you either play with those new NFTs that you won or you sell those. It's free to play. If you want to step it up to the next level, sure. Once you have your legs underneath you, you can go and buy some NFTs that are higher value. You can play with the big dogs where the stakes are higher. You can buy a pack for $99. If you ever bought NFTs before, you're used to spending $99 on stuff, you can do it with your ETH right from your MetaMask wallet. It's on layer 2 ETH. So Rare is actually free, and they're actually doing things in a way that makes sense for the NFT space. So sign up at thenifty.com, THENIFTY.com/SORARE. I play every week. You can join our league once we get more spots. It filled up really quick. People were really excited to play, which is obviously pretty cool. But yeah, So Rare. Actual free stuff in the NFT space, actual decent model. Nick, please take it away.
We're going to keep hitting on some of these stories. One I want to hit on is the collab land, but right before that, I was taking a look at the Sappy Seals situation here with a Bitcoin drop. Is this like literally, it's like we all do the same playbook. Portals is close to ordinals, right? It sounds similar in terms of the name. Should we call it just Portinals?
Yeah.
We should drop some Portinals basically, and then hopefully our floor pumps as a result of it. Sappy Seals floors pumped temporarily It pulled back some as well. They currently have a floor price of 1.24, which is actually pretty solid off of its 0.9 ETH floor. They were like surging back at the beginning of the year, and then they had an extreme pullback off of 1.8. They came all the way down to like 0.9. They're now seeing a little bit of a revival around this news on the BTC Mint announcement. I don't know. How long does this meme last? I want to go on to the next story real quick, but I am curious. How long do people think that this whole ordinals play is going to be like a relevant market conversation?
I'm looking at you, Easy, or Kicks too.
Yeah, my personal thing is that obviously there's still a lot of desire for people to get exposure to ordinals. That's why like some of the most successful ordinal projects are ones that you can just buy on Ethereum, right? So the Emblem Vault Bitcoin Punks is a great example. Gabe is doing ordinal drops for his community, and then Sappy Seals is doing it for their community. Frank did one, but like the truth is that a lot of these people are buying, but like not outside of an Emblem Vault, they're like just having like kind of the project hold on to it. Like it's so hard to even get your wallet set up and like actually receive it yourself without messing something up. Like the technology is so far behind the speculation right now, if that makes sense. So I think if you're long-term bullish on ordinals, what you really want to do is you want to have the speculation go down as it kind of as the talk about it moves out of the mainstream, and then you want the technology to catch up, where like, you know, you just talked about the ordinal wallet that released last night. You want like an ordinal wallet that's actually clean and easy to use, and then you want to start accumulating these when no one's talking about it, and then wait for like the next leg. But like right now, I think like if you're getting into ordinals, you're kind of like catching the top of the speculation as it's starting to curve back down. And with the technology not catching up, like you need to be comfortable if you're buying something for ordinal exposure that you're going to sit on it for a while.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is essentially, if you're interested, wait for the next sort of toxic Bitcoin maximalist to like start pumping this, and we'll be back, but it's going to be maybe a couple of months before that happens. So in the interim, you're going to feel like you're holding the bag, especially if you stupidly bought your own punk on Emblem Vault and are just going to lose your money on it. But just
I can't believe you did that. You got it. If you're going to buy something on Emblem Vault, you got to talk to me first, because I'll give you the scoop.
I knew that I was going to lose that money, but I had no idea what was going to happen with this thing, so I just bought it anyways. Someone was like, "Oh, you got to protect it on another chain," and I'm like, "Get the hell out of here." That was like the message that I received from people. Let's move on to the next.
And Nick, what I found out is when you lose money on something like that, you make it back somewhere else. It's almost like kind of like a sacrifice, like it's like a burn sacrifice. And now that 2.5 ETH is going to manifest, and maybe even some more in another trade.
You're completely correct. I sold a business. I then invested all the money into a failing business. I recouped all of that money a couple of years ago. And so it came back. It only took like 10 years for it to like come back around. Yeah, even my accountant was like, dude, I've noticed this pattern across a lot of the people that I've seen where they've had similar experiences. It's like you just put the money into the ecosystem and then it somehow comes back to you. And I'm like, I hope so. Like, I genuinely hope
that's how
so.
it works. Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Clemente, you got a tweet pin for us. What's the story with this tweet?
So yesterday, an ordinal punk, that little propeller hat punk, was traded for a Fidenza yesterday. So that's a pretty massive trade, considering that Fidenzas, last time I checked, have a 78 ETH floor. So the big question here is, which one would you rather hold in the long term, a Fidenza or an ordinal punk?
It's not even a debate.
Clemente, did you see that the last Fidenza trade that went down was for a mutant collar at 100 G's?
Well,
That's wild.
who's
I don't
trading
know.
these
I don't know about
Fidenza,
that.
man?
Fidenza really need to get it together. Put that thing in a lock it away. Go node mode and put in a ledger, lock it up, and like what he's doing with his ETH.
What are you guys doing, Fidenza holders? Like, what are you doing? Get it together, okay? One of your people just traded for an e-liquid, eventually $0 worth asset Maybe they just don't care because they're that rich and they have so many Fidenzas that they sleep comfortably at night.
This is a thing, though, right? But didn't somebody trade a Fidenza for mutant hound collars at the top or something? It was, or like, what are the Fidenza holders doing? What are they doing?
They did $100,000 trade for a rare mutant collar. So like the Fidenza trades are recently a little sus.
The mutant collar one is hilarious. Although I did see Gargamel from Bored Ape Yacht Club reply to the roadmap Lior.eth's like outline of the future of mutant hounds, and I'm just like, I don't know what to like. I just don't know what to think about this thing.
Maybe buy the dip on this, dude. What's the floor price at?
It's at 0.32. I got dragged by the Mutant Hound community because when it was pushing to Ethereum, I said, and by the way, I just want to let it be known, this was not like personal. It was just a bearish price prediction, but people get so upset if you say something that, like, what was I supposed to say? It's going to go to 5 ETH? Like that would be an outlandish prediction. I said it was going to go to 0.3 within 90 days. I believe it's been less than 45 days since I did that, and it's at 0.33 ETH. So I think I'm not even trying to do the whole victory lap thing, but I think I am. I do have the belt around my waist right now, I think, but anyway.
And carrying a trophy while you're at it. Last story that we'll hit on real quick, Collabland. You may have heard of them because when you used to use Discord, they were a relevant app. For those that are no longer using Discord for the most part, you may not be aware of this. Collabland has a bot where you can verify that you own something on Discord in order to get access. We have that within our Discord, and I believe that's what we use. We were discussing switching it out, but I don't think we ever swapped it out. I think we still use Collabland. They're apparently doing a token drop in an effort to, I don't know, drive more action. It's an airdrop collab to eligible users and communities. Those eligible are verified Discord and Telegram community members, their top 100 Discord communities, and certain Collabland NFT holders. And now I'm wondering, is Bored Ape Yacht Club one of those verified things? And part of me feels like
they released a top 100 list. Within those Discords is like Kaiju Kings, Cool Cats, Bored Ape Yacht Club. So most NFT a lot of NFT projects that you see and every day are on there. The
Nifty Portal
released. Nifty Portal's not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Nick just flipped from bullish to bearish in half a second. I saw it in his eyes.
Well, I'm pretty excited about this airdrop. I feel bad that we're not part of this. It's yet another attempt by an organization within this ecosystem to spite us. And I'm getting frustrated with that.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Look, I want to close out. It's Friday. We got Easy on stage. Spencer dipped. I want to know, Easy, going into the weekend, what are you looking at in the NFT market? How are you playing this or crypto trades? You said that we have another 7 days. How are you operating?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm watching some of these cheaper collections to take some flyers on, hoping liquidity can cycle. I actually bought something live on show from today that I'm actually really excited about.
What'd you buy?
It's by our very own Brian Brinkman. So Levels.art is a art block style on-chain gaming studio, and he released the first game. It's like a Space Invaders called Cloud Poppers. It's 100 supply. It saw a high of 1.6. 42 are listed right now. And I was trying to buy them yesterday at 0.7 and then got distracted. Saw the floor absolutely moon and just bought one at 0.8. But my speculation on this is that Brinkman's really plugged into the art space, has multiple art blocks drops that are highly successful. And if we continue to see these on-chain games made by the same developer who worked with G Money to make Brick Breaker, I think there is a market for this. The website's really clean.
You buy it on Blur?
Yeah, for 0.8. It's a little higher on OpenSea. 0.85 is the next floor price on it.
Make a bid, dude. Farm a little Blur, dude.
I feel really good about this trade because you have almost 50% listed right now, which is a ton. And it doesn't require a lot of, quote, utility. But this is the first piece to launch through Levels.art. If they get another big name artist to make an on-chain game with these low supplies, this inherently is the first one, which is well,
Pio's fine. I can see it in his eyes. And
no.
Easy. Do we know? So why would you want to play the game? Does playing the game?
So they're launching a
score gives you
leaderboard with.
access?
So that's the speculation that I have is with this leaderboard rolling out. What's going to stop them from having you play games to get the next whitelist in the spot? And they're all
Yeah, that's what I
relatively
was
simple games,
Well,
which
yeah.
is nice. It's not like a
Son, where'd you
crazy
find this?
on top thing. And yeah, of course, it's a really small supply. So I only want to call it out because Brinkman's an OG supporter too. And I actually really do like the project. I was
What's
trying
the
to buy it
project
yesterday.
called?
It's called Cloud Poppers. So it's off of
Just look at my wallet.
yeah, this is one that I'm like excited about too.
Yeah,
and then other
I'm
than that, though,
super bearish on it actually.
I need a better entry.
I'm gonna sell it for mutant hounds. All right.
But I'm looking. There's a couple other things I am looking at too. We saw the Oni Force run up. It's now since pulled back, but there's speculation on that buyout. So if that continues to actually consolidate back towards like 1.6, I may get a position there. I'm holding a sewer pass because we have the next event coming up next week. The sewer reopens and they announced a companion for that. So even the NA passes feel undervalued. I sold my tier 1 for a 2.7 and bought a tier 2 with an NA for 2.4. So those are the things that like I'm kind of looking at, or like what has a catalyst following Blur versus chasing the money right now.
I love that. That was fantastic. Nick, you got any comments on what Easy just said, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cloud Poppers. You're like, this is Kix' kryptonite right here, man. This guy's about to go floor sweep the hell out of it just because it's like he's like gaming. Hold on, what is this?
Yo, 2-Bit Bears gave us $100 on the YouTube. Don't do that, 2-Bit Bears.
And it was
Don't
just
do
to
that.
tell me to fix my skateboard lineup.
2-Bit
Alignment.
Bears. We've told you to not donate money on the YouTube before, and yet you spite us. You continue to not listen to what we're telling you. Stop giving us money.
I got a better idea. Rather than give us money, buy some portals, y'all. Hold
Sweep
it in the
'em.
2-Bit Bears wallet and just announce a partnership between us. That'll change things. And if you buy 20 of them, we can have a phone call about it.
Okay, we can talk about the 2 bits because I got a lot of ideas for these 2 bits. I see the way you guys have been doing the 2 bits, and I don't think that that's the right way to operate with the 2 bits. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot of strategy, advisory sort of things that we can do if you sweep 20 of those portals, 2-Bit Bears, which
20.
is very close to the $100 that you just spent. But that's it. I mean, I feel like we got a minute left. If we're going to discuss any of these stories, we can. But I feel like we really knocked them down. I'm hoping that I get life-changing wealth off of the collab land drop. The only other thing here real quick, Moonbird's DAO ready to launch. Lunar Society, the DAO for the Moonbirds community, is due to launch this month. DAO proposals start on February 28th. First voting. Is that still a community, this Moonbirds thing?
Yeah, just very quickly, not the Moonbirds thing, but there's a mint happening later today, Ghost Boy, and it's by the founder of Cool Cats, co-founder of Cool Cats, Evan. So keep an eye on that because I think a lot of people will be excited about that happening later today.
What's the mint price on that, Sig?
Super cheap, like 0.02 or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
We talked about it a little bit on the morning show too. A lot of people are excited about that. My only concern is like, everyone talking about it is looking at it for a flip. So like, that's always a concern for me because it's like no one I've talked to is like, oh, I'm really excited to hold this project. Everyone's like, founder of Cool Cats, I'm so excited to floor the hell out of this if I hit. We'll see.
It's tough. There's been a bunch of buys on the Cloud Poppers. We're popping clouds over here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we run this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time. Shout out to everybody that participated today. Signal, Kix, Easy, Bunny, Clemente, Spencer, of course, the one and only Nifty Nick, funniest man in the business.
Wow, that floor just went up 30%. That's ridiculous.
For transparency, I'm holding this thing. Like this is for me, and when I say holding, like at least 30 days. I know that's crazy for me.
I'm not buying right now because I got two fails, and I know these bozos buying it as soon as the volume dries up in 30 minutes.
They're floor it. Yeah.
I'll just wait another 2 hours and I'll buy it.
Kix will be a holder 2 hours from now. Gotta love it. Nick, you should buy the top right now, though.
Why? I'm confused about. So it's a piece of art, right? like
It's
a
an
game.
on-chain game and the goal is to make it much like an art blocks for on-chain games. So my speculation with this being the very first one from levels.art is that as soon as they continue to partner with
End the
great
show,
artists.
Pio. End the show, dude. Easy. End the show, Pio.
We'll talk after. I'll give you my thesis.
Wow, I want to. You're not going to share it with people. That's just rude. Dude.
Easy.
I've already
go.
shared it once.
Go again. Go again.
I think that if they just lock in more good art, Brinkman is such a good artist. The guy has a ton of successful art blocks plays already. What's stopping them from getting more
Breaking
great
news.
art
There's
blocks
something
artists?
else going on in the market right now. Sorry to cut you off there, Uzi. Looking at a completely different project here.
I got
PUMA,
hurt.
OpenSea, PUMA, other things, other deeds moving.
Okay, I got hurt with another game. The one that was the remember when the Cryptoads got an airdrop of like an arcade game that you could play. No one wanted those things. I ended up buying it and just losing like an ETH on whatever that was. It pumped temporarily and went down.
Art blocks. That's it. That's literally the argument here is that this is not just a bunch of game makers. This is the goal is to get art blocks artists making an on-chain game, which is literally the tech.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Kicks missed out. Me and Easy got in. You got to be quick over here. You got to be quick to draw. Anyway, we run this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time each and every week, where we discuss all things NFTs, crypto, technology, finance, gaming, entertainment, and everything in between. We love you guys. If you want to catch up on the show, you can listen to the recording on Twitter. You can listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We simulcast to YouTube. We're everywhere. We put shorts out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, okay? So definitely come back on Monday. Shout out to our sponsor, So Rare. Sign up at thenifty.com/SoRare.